Well, Virginia Tech and Virginia advanced to the third round of the ACC tournament last night with wins. The Hoos with a 75-63 win over Pitt, while the Hokies defeated Wake Forest by 9. But now the focus shifts to their matchups tonight. On the Hokies side of things, they tip off at 7 o'clock against the 2-seeded Florida State Seminoles. Now, Florida State beat Virginia Tech by 15 points in the regular season, but the Hokies were a completely different team. They played without their star guard, Seth Allen, who with him on the floor, the Hokies are a totally different team. Not only the fact that he can get it done offensively and also defend on the defensive side of the ball, but he is just a spark plug. He is this team's heartbeat, and with him on the court, the Hokies have that extra pep in their step. For the Hoos, now they have the nightcap again. They tip off at 9 o'clock against the 3-seeded Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Virginia is the only team that Notre Dame has yet to beat in the ACC. That and the Hoos have also seemed to have caught fire again from behind the arc. They went through a little slump there during a stretch of the season, but last night they shot 50% from behind the arc, making 11 of 22 threes. That paired with their suffocating pack line defense is a deadly combination for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Lots of excitement. So, Kevin A., this is a quick turnaround for both the Hokies and the Hoos. Do you see fatigue being an issue for either team, especially against the teams that they're going to be playing in their first games?
Yeah, that's a great question because this is a very quick turnaround. I mean, I mentioned that the Hokies tipped off at 7 last night, and the Hoos had the nightcap at 9. So this is a very quick turnaround, and fatigue is always a question, especially for the Hokies. They do not have a deep bench. They run that 7-man rotation. But you guys, this is what they play for. This is what they prepare for the entire season. Those one-and-done scenarios, that March Madness. So I think when the ball tips, the adrenaline will carry them through, and that fatigue will go out the door. We're less than an hour away from tip-off between the Hokies and Florida State. For now, reporting live in the Barclays Center, Kevin E. Martin, back to you guys in the studio.
The NC.
And I'm live in Brooklyn outside of the Barclays Center, the site of the 2017 ACC tournament. I had a chance to talk to both the Hokies and the Hoos. We'll hear from them coming up. Let's start with the Hokies. Now, the growth of the program in the 3 years under Buzz Williams has been tremendous. After winning just 11 games in year one, the Hokies picked up 20 wins last year and earned a berth to the NIT tournament. Now, this year, currently sitting at 21-9 and 10-8 in the ACC. It looks like the Hokies are on the verge of making their first NCAA tournament appearance in 10 years.
For us to have an 8-game improvement, which had only happened 3 times in the league.
Now, obviously, it's all speculation at this point, but worst case scenario, and let me reiterate, everyone don't freak out, worst case scenario, if the Hokies do lose in the first round, I think that their resume speaks for itself right now, and they have already earned a bid to the NCAA tournament, but of course, a win would be huge. Now, moving over to UVA, obviously, a lot of the attention has been centered around senior point guard London Parentes, and for good reason. He's averaging 13 points per game, which is leading the Hoos, but taking some of the scoring load off this season, especially from behind the arc, are a pair of true freshmen, Kyle Guy and Ty Jerome, who are no strangers to the spotlight.
Ty's got a very good, he's a good decision maker, good feel.
Now, both Kyle and Ty, as I mentioned, are no strangers to the spotlight, especially Kyle, who last year as a high school senior was a McDonald's All-American and named Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana. And when I talked to both of them yesterday, I asked them about the nerves, and they said they are taking it as just another game. Guys? Hey guys, it was an amazing night to be a Hokie and a Hoo fan. As Alexon mentioned, both Virginia Tech and Virginia advanced to the round of 8. The Hokies picking up a 9-point win over Wake Forest, while the Hoos picked up a 75-63 win. Now, on the Hokies side of things, it was really a team game. 5 separate Hokies scoring in double figures. They trailed by 7 at the half, but scored 62 second-half points, led by senior forward Zach Leday, who recorded his 14th career double-double with 31 points to go along with 15 rebounds. As for the Hoos, the story of the night was true true freshman guard, Kyle Guy. He was lights out. He scored a game-high 20 points. And really, the Hoos could not miss it all in the second half. That as a team, they shot 50% from behind the arc. So all in all, a great night to be a Hokie and a Who, guys.
Absolutely. Kevin, obviously tonight is another big step for the Hokies. We know that they haven't been in the tournament for 10 years. I'm talking about the big dance. So tonight, they're trying to avenge a loss that they had in the regular season against Florida State.
Yeah, and I actually really like this matchup. In the regular season, Florida State beat them handedly, and Florida State is a very, very good team, and Buzz Williams will tell you that. But back during that game, and he said he's not using this as an excuse, they did not have Seth Allen or Hadim C. Both were out with injuries. We all know how important Seth Allen is to this team, not only with his production on the offensive side of the ball, his ability to match up on the defensive side of the ball, but he is the spark plug, the heartbeat to this team. With him on the court, the Hokies are a completely different team, and I think that they have a very good chance tonight with Florida State.
And Kevin, what about the matchup between Virginia and Notre Dame? How are you feeling about that?
I also really like this matchup. Now, this year, Notre Dame was just 16-2 at home. One of those two losses came at the hands of Virginia. Mike Brey, Notre Dame's head coach, has a very, very good system in place at Notre Dame, and they are a very hard team to beat. But Virginia obviously figured that out once this year, and I have complete faith, especially if they continue that hot shooting that they had last night against Pitt. And of course, if they rely on their backbone, the pack line defense, I think that both the Hokies and the Hoos will end up advancing to the semifinals here in Brooklyn.